Hello, welcome to Camaro Mods channel. This program we're going to start working on the bottom ground effects on the 92 Camaro. You see right down here it's split, so we're going to get some of this JB weld, and I'll get a close-up shot on this so you can see what this is. Okay, you can get this off of Amazon. I'm not sure how you say that, but I believe it's made in the UK. It's like a plastic Bondo, and it's about $18, but we'll be using this today. And you get this at Walmart. This is JB Weld plastic bonder. You get that at Walmart. It's a two-part. It mixes together when it comes out. Then you're gonna need to buy some spreaders. Or you can, if you got a metal putty knife, it'll work pretty good too. Because keep in mind, this is a plastic and this is plastic. If you don't get it scraped off before it dries up, then you're gonna ruin your spreaders here. So I'm gonna try both. I'll try the plastic ones, and I'll try these right here, the metal ones. And this ought to be pretty easy to clean off. But before we get to work, I'm gonna do I got another item in for my 2012 Camaro. I got the side skirts. It goes along the side of the car. I was going to buy the more expensive ones. I got them off of eBay, of course. What do you expect on eBay, right? But I was going to get the more expensive one, but it had didn't have very good reviews on it. But then I went ahead and got the cheaper ones, which had better reviews on it, and I was highly disappointed. Let me go grab one down here. Okay, these are the side skirts. It goes on the side of the car. You say, what's wrong with that? Well, it wasn't near the quality I figured it'd be. I mean, it's so flexible. So, I've got a fiberglass kit that I've got ordered. And I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to cut me some fiberglass mats in here. Going to cut them out. We're going to glass it in, and it's really going to stiffen this up. I mean, that's the quality it should have been whenever I got it, but we're going to stiffen this up. We're going to run 2 or 3. We're going to cut probably about 3 to 4 mats in here, and then over the top one, we'll go over the top of this. This is where your screws and stuff goes. We're gonna, and that'll be in another video. We'll go through all that. We'll cut it all out and glass it all in and stiffen this all up. But $179 for this cheap piece of plastic, seriously. But I was highly disappointed at it, and I sure didn't want to spend $750 for a carbon fiber one. $750, I think, what they run. But we'll just make this one work. If not, we'll find something else that will work. Icon Motorsports, I'm not sure what that is. But anyway, like I say, I was disappointed in it, but I got a fiberglass kit coming, and we'll just get this thing glassed in, and then we'll get these installed. And then what we'll do, we'll put 2 or 3 layers on top of this, and then we'll put some Bondo on top of that, smooth it all out, get it even with the top of this lip right here. Sand it all down real nice, and then we'll paint both sides. Now that ought to really stiffen it up. So I'm not sure that would hold up to 30 mile an hour winds, much less 100 mile an hour. But who's going to be doing 100 mile an hour, right? Not unless you want to get caught. Yeah, the last 2 times I got pulled over was with my wife's minivan. Isn't that crazy? Not with either one of the Camaros. But first time she wasn't wearing her seatbelt right. She wasn't wearing it across here. She had it up under her arm or something. I don't know. It wouldn't. Cop didn't think she was even wearing a seatbelt. Got pulled over for that. Second time, which is about, I think it was Easter weekend. But got pulled over doing a 77 and a 65. And got lucky and got just a warning. Very lucky. But anyway, I always like them cops behind you, right? Yeah, my neighbor came over, I think it was Easter weekend on a Sunday, and had my Camaro out here in front. And he was checking it out. He hadn't seen it in person for a while. He hadn't seen the new Z01 bumper on there. And he was checking it out. And I was telling him that need to take both these cars down to the Mocan Dragway. I was telling him we need to take him down some weekend and go to the Dragway and see which one's the fastest. Well, I already know which one's going to win, but I think it'd be fun. Good video for the channel, right? But my wife really don't care how many car parts I buy. She knows I'm gonna buy them anyway, but she don't care how many cars I buy. But when I ran that by her, you're gonna take them cars to drag strip, she put her foot down. You ain't racing them cars. That was so funny. But yeah, she said I wasn't gonna be racing them cars. So looked like that might be out. So I already know which one's going to win anyway. You can tell that by looking up the horsepower on it. The V8 305, I think it's got maybe 165 horsepower, 165 horsepower. That V6 got over 300, so what does that tell you? That V6 is going to take it. Be lighter also. These newer cars with the faster motors and the transmissions, wow. It's amazing how much horsepower you can get out of them nowadays. But I thought that was funny. I sure would have went and done that though, but the reason why she don't want me to do that is I think her dad was racing cars when he was much younger. When he was around, I think he was doing a dirt track. You know, the oval dirt track. But I think he got hurt doing that, so that's the reason why she don't want me to have anything to do with racing cars. So I don't know if I'm gonna, may have to take her to the track a few times and maybe get her into it, but wow. Take her down the Mocan Dragway. That's on the Kansas and Missouri line. That's a really good racetrack over there. They have a pretty good show on, let's see, Memorial Weekend or Labor Day weekend, one of them. I think maybe both. But I mean, I'm talking about the Top Fuel and all them. I mean, jet dragsters, all that stuff. In fact, I'm going to go down there sometime and we're going to do some video down there and we're going to put it on the channel. So you can stay tuned for that. Well, I guess enough with the stories. I guess we need to get started and get busy here. I'm gonna JB weld that stuff and see if we can sand it down some. And I see my battery's running down on my camera. It's flashing at me. So I better swap batteries in it and we'll go over here to the car. Actually, not the car, just got a table set up over here for the, got the front ground effects on there. Well, that's the wrong video, wrong picture. But yeah, we got just got a table set up for the front ground effects on the spoiler on it. We're gonna Bondo that, do some sanding on it, maybe shoot a coat of primer on it, get it ready to go. But we'll see how far I get on that. I may just do that one and do some of the side skirts, you know, some other time. So let's go here to the car and let's get started. Okay, you can see right here, this front one here's got a pretty good split in it. And this one right here has been repaired. I believe he said he used JB Weld on this one also. And you can really feel that. I mean, we're going to sand that down. And this is okay as far as being pieced back together. We'll sand that down, then we'll put some plastic Bondo on there where you can't even feel that. Okay, we've got some wax and grease remover here. We're going to take and clean this area up a little bit. Make sure we ain't got nothing on there. We'll have to let it dry for a minute. Clean that split up pretty good. Now we'll let that dry for a minute. We're going to work on the inside first, and then I'm sure we'll have to put another coat on the outside. Let's split that apart there. Open this up, seeing it's two parts. Got like a black and a white. We'll squirt out just a little bit there and mix it up. Put a C-clamp right here on the end of it here. Hold it together while it's drying. Try to hit that again. Okay, I have to look at the instructions, see how long that's going to take to dry. Like I said, I got a C-clamp there on the very, it'd be the bottom part of the front spoiler there. It sets in 15 minutes and can be sanded after 30 minutes. So we'll let this thing dry for about 30 minutes and then we'll see if it needs anything on the front side. I made sure it was good and even on the front side before I clamped her down. Then we may just be able to sand it on the front side and put some of that plastic Bondo on it, and it may be a pretty easy fix. So we'll be back in just a few minutes and let that dry for a while. Okay, we're going to work on this other side over here. I already got some of it sanded here. Need to sand it where you can't feel it. Okay, now get you a rag, damp it down good with some wax and grease remover. And get all your dust off of it. Now we'll mix up some of that plastic Bondo. Spread that on there. Okay, we're going to use just a piece of cardboard here. Okay, you're going to need to get you a pair of scissors. Cut the end of it off here. Just squeeze it out. This is your hardener. Just run your little bead across the top of it here. Mix her up good. Spread this on here. You don't have to be real perfect on this. You're going to sand it off anyway. That'll help fill up that crack right there, because you do feel just a little bit right in there. And that'll line everything back up. Make it smooth enough where you can't even tell it's been broken. Okay, now we'll let this set for a while. So far so good. And then on your spreader here, you need to make sure you get that off of there, because if you don't, that's plastic on plastic, and it will ruin your spreaders. Just wipe it off like that. Then take your rag with your wax and grease remover. Clean her back off. Yeah, when I first started using this, I didn't clean up my tools and I ruined my spreaders. Now it's good as new again. Now we're going to let this dry 15-20 minutes, and we'll be back and we'll sand it and be ready to go. Okay, we're going to start sanding this thing off a little bit. Okay, that about does it on this video. We're gonna just sand that down, and need to scuff the whole thing up real good, and then we can shoot some primer over it. And then we'll shoot whatever color we're gonna put on it. But anyway, that's how to fix your bottom ground effects. Just get some Bondo and JB Weld or plastic Bondo that I showed you earlier. But the JB Weld is supposed to take 15 minutes and then 30 minutes to sand. Anyway, it's been over an hour now and it's still tacky, so I'm gonna let that sit for overnight before I bother it, and because I'm afraid I'm going to split it back open. So, and it'll be just like this process here. We'll just put some of that plastic Bondo bumper filter on top of it, sand it off, make it as smooth. We might go over this a little bit more with the sander, mainly by hand sand, but it's getting real close. Let's scuff the whole thing up, and then we'll shoot the whole thing with primer. But this is the one I did earlier. I mean, it's still a little bit tacky. I think it's gonna work. But to be on the safe side, I think I'm just gonna let it dry overnight. And that way I don't have to worry about it busting open and leave the clamp on it, and just leave it dry overnight. And then maybe tomorrow I'll sand on this a little bit, then put that plastic bumper filter on top of that, sand that off, and then do your normal preps on your plastic parts. Just sand it all down and wipe it off with the wax and grease remover, and get it ready to shoot for primer. I was wanting to shoot primer on it today, but this thing is just taking too long to dry. I was really wanting to get these parts in primer, but it's not going to happen today. Anyway, thanks for watching.